Classic puzzles in two variables. The first type of puzzle we're going to talk about are age puzzles. All the puzzles are going to be different. This is just an example of one. A father is 32 years older than his son. In 4 years, the father will be 5 times as old as his son. How old is each now? What we need to do for these problems are set up systems of equations. We're going to need to come up with a system. What variables do we want to use? If you use x and y, we have to declare what we're using. X is going to stand for, what are we talking about in here? Father. Y is going to be son. Now, we need to break it up so that it's two equations. The first one is right here. A father is 32 years older than his son. How can I change that from words into a linear equation? X is usually means equals. X equals, now it's 32 years older than his son. So I'm going to have y plus 32. The son plus 32. That's only the first equation. Period ends the equation. I'm done with that one. The second equation is the next sentence. In 4 years, the father will be 5 times as old as the son. So in 4 years, how old will the father be? Okay, if you're 16 right now, how old will you be in 4 years? You'd be 20. The father's not 36. How is the father's age changing? Going up by 4. So what's the father's age? What's the father's age? Father's age is x. So x plus 4 will be is the same thing as is. That's just the future tense. 5 times as old as his son. 5. Now it's not 5y. Now, if the father gets 5 years older, what happens to the son? The son gets 5 years older also. So it's 5 times y plus 4. That is your system of equations. I want you to solve this. The best way to solve this one is substitution. For elimination, I have to do a lot of rearranging and multiplying. But here I already know x is equal to this. So I'm going to replace this x with the y plus 32. Y plus 32 plus 4 equals, now I'm going to distribute over here to save me a step, 5y plus 20. Only thing I did was I distributed right here to save me an extra step. And I substitute x with y plus 32. I'm going to combine my like terms over here. Y plus 36 equals 5y plus 20. What should I do now? Okay, I can minus the 20, minus 20, minus 20. Y 36 minus 20 is 16. Subtract the y, subtract the y. 16 equals 4y. Divide by 4. Y is 4. So the son is 4 years old. How old's the father? How'd you get 36? 4 plus 32 gives me the father is 36. There's your solution. Now, the nice thing about these age problems,
Bro, you ain't even have to do all that.
for these age problems, the nice thing about them, you have to get positive numbers. You can't be a negative age. And you're not going to get decimals either, or fractions. It's going to be whole years. If you get a decimal or a negative, you know you have a problem. Those are age problems. I want to see if you can get this one set up. June is 4 years older than her brother. 6 years ago, she was twice as old as he was. How old is each now? Coming around, I'm seeing a lot of people with a setup. Almost every single person is writing an X and a Y, and they're labeling which one's which. Most people used X was June, and Y was the brother. Some people use J and B. That's fine too. You just have to know what variable you're using. That way you don't forget which one's which. The system. Looking at the first one. June is 4 years older than her brother. Anyone think they have it? Go ahead. X equals, because June is, so X equals, you put Y plus 4. 4 years older than her brother. Y plus 4 is correct. The second one. Anyone think they have the bottom one? Go ahead. All right, X plus Y. What would X plus Y mean? Does it ever say June's age plus her brother's age in there? No. That's one thing you got to pay attention to. The first thing it says is 6 years ago.
So you got it's -6.
Minus 6. Why is it minus 6? Because it was 6 years ago. On our last problem, it was 4 years from now. So it's, she was, so X minus 6 equals why 2? Because twice is 2. It's not 2y. 2y minus 6. You have to remember, 6 years ago, both of the ages are going to change, not just one of them. Even though some of your mothers might still be 29, and they'll always be 29 for the rest of their lives. They're actually getting older. So now I have this system. Try to solve it. I already have X equals this, so I'm not even going to try to do elimination. I'm going to do substitution. I'm going to substitute in right here. Y plus 4 minus 6 equals, now I'm going to save some time, 2y minus 12. Combine my like terms on the left-hand side. It'd be y minus 2 equals 2y minus 12. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the y, subtract the y. Negative 2 equals y minus 12. Now I need to add 12, add 12. Y is 10. So the brother is 10 years old. So if the brother is 10, the brother was 10, June will be, how old's June? 14. Because 10 plus 4 is 14. The other type for today are number digit problems. We're going to end up covering, I think, 5 different types. These are number digits. The sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 7. The original 2-digit number Is 3 less than 4 times the number with its digits reversed? Find the original 2-digit number. Okay, so we did sum of the digits of the 2-digit number is 7. X plus y equals 7. The reason why it's 10x plus y, 3 times 10 is 30, because it's in the 10 spot, 5's in the 1's place, equals, it was 4 times the digits reversed. So now that 35 becomes a 53. So it's 10y plus x, and the minus 3 goes on the end. I'm going to work with this bottom one first. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to do this piece right here. 10x plus y. It's an ugly y. When I distribute 40y plus 4x minus 3, I'm going to move the x and the y to the left. I'm going to move these over. Minus 40y minus 4x. Minus 4x minus 40y. Anyone lost on what I just did?
Yes. Because I ain't do it like that.
All I'm doing is I'm moving the x and the y variables to the left-hand side. And then I lined up the x's, I lined up the y's. So I have 6x minus 39y equals negative 3. All I did was rearranged this one right here.
How would you solve that? 2 variables?
Well, I solved this x plus y is 7. So I'm going to bring this down here.
Oh.
What method is best? What method is probably easier?
Yeah, what's it called? Elimination?
Elimination method. Which variable is probably easier to solve for?
6.
The x, the 6. So I have to multiply the bottom by negative 6. Why negative 6? So I have 6x minus 39. 39y equals negative 3. When I distribute through, negative 6x, negative 6y equals negative 42. Gone. I have negative 45y equals negative 45. Y is going to be 1. Since y is 1, what does x have to be? If y is 1, x plus 1 is 7, so x has to be 6. So y is 1, x is 6, my number was 61. Here's the nice thing about these problems. Again, they can't be negative. If you get negative numbers, something's wrong. If you get a decimal, something's wrong. These should end up with whole numbers every single time.
You thinking more than you learn. Shakir,
I'm so sorry.
so it's just like how we do it, we just put them together like
The hardest part of these problems is getting the system written down. Once you get the system written down, it's what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks.
wrong.
Right, if you use the wrong system, all your work's for nothing. That's why you have to be careful. Here's another one. A 2-digit number whose tens digit is 2 more than the units digit is 3 more than 6 times the sum of its digits. Find the original number. The 2-digit number I'm going to call xy. A 2-digit number whose tens digit is, what's the tens digit? X or the y? X. So x means equals 2 more than the units digit. So y plus 2. Tens digit, units digit. Okay, 3 more than 6 times the sum of its digits. So the 2-digit number, your 2-digit number is 10x, plus y, is 3 more, so plus 3, 6 times the sum of the digits. 6 times the sum of the digits. There's your system. Because I had 2 is in a row, it is talking about this in 2 spots. All right, I'm going to rearrange this. 10x plus y is 6x plus 6y plus 3. I'm going to move these 2 over. Move those over. 10x minus 6x, 4x. Y and negative 6y, negative 5y equals 3. I still have this right here. The elimination method would be faster.